Okay guys, welcome to another video. This is a new feature now. You know, anyone that watches the channel will probably know why I like new features. I do have a thing called Arcade Perfect My Arse, and that is where I look at an arcade game and I basically take a look at all the sort of home versions, which is, it's good fun. But this thing here I'm going to call the 8-bit face-off kerfuffle, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at home ports or games that were released for the 8-bit machines and just kind of, you know, compare them, see what I think's the best one. So to kick things off, as a particular favourite of mine, it's Bruce Lee, released by Datasoft originally. I think it originally came out on the Atari 8-bit, then it came out on the C64, then US Gold later imported it for, or developed it, excuse me, for the Spectrum, BBC and Amstrad. It may have come out on other machines as well, but you know. So anyway, this is the Amstrad one. Now I've got to say I wasn't looking forward to playing this version, and I've got to say I'm really impressed. Really am. It looks nice. It's I mean, Amstrad is notoriously or it's famous for bright colour palette, and this one is no different. It's mega kind of bright and vibrant looking, but it's really smooth. As you'll see later on, some of the sort of animation in some of other versions isn't the greatest, but this is super smooth. There's no kind of pausing or anything. It's very faithful, so I was really quite impressed with this one. Sounds, you know, spot on. It's not got, you know, it's not got a lot of sound, to be fair anyway, but this is well impressive. Now if you can hear any noise in the background, it's my stupid dogs kicking off. They can obviously see something outside. So that is the Amstrad one. Right, now this is the original version of Bruce Lee. This is the Atari 8-bit one. I mean, graphically it's pretty much the same as the Amstrad. One thing you will notice, it's kind of duller kind of colours. I mean, one thing about the Amstrad, not the Amstrad, the Atari bit has got really good, quite a nice colour palette, and Bruce Lee has got a really nice natural skin tone. But this is an excellent version, very good. Again, it's responsive, and this is the original. Now, I'm not sure who ported. I think this was the original one. Then I think the C64 one was ported by the same programmers at Roy Fortier, I think his name was. Now, one thing I did notice when I was playing other versions, in the Atari one and the C64 one, the baddies cannot climb ladders. Well, at least I've never seen them climb a ladder, but you'll see later on that in some of the versions they're able to climb ladders. You see there, Butchu, he's not making any attempt to kind of try and get me because he's not physically able to climb ladders. Not even a ninja. You think a ninja could climb a ladder, but apparently not. So yeah, this is a original. You know, this is a fantastic version, as you would expect. This was the game that really got me into computer games. I mean, I used to go along a computer shop and I used to watch people playing this game, and I just thought, that looks awesome. That just looks absolutely awesome. I never had a computer. It was about 2 years after I saw this game before I actually had enough money to buy one. So that is Atari 8-bit. That was the original. Now this bombshell is the BBC. Yeah, you can see it plays at 100 miles an hour. Bruce Lee is pink with red trousers on. Now Butchu has obviously been on the sort of the slim fast diet. He's looking very slim looking. Even the wee cow thing is, what is that, a cow? Is that a cow statue? Even he's kind of lost weight as well. He looks more like a hamster in this version. You'll notice a glaring omission, there is no ninja. Now the Butcher looks more like a punk, a green punk complete with Mohican. Now you had to use, you can't use the joystick. Now you'll see there the Butchu is able to climb, which is not faithful to the original. It zips along at a feral pace. You're just pursued relentlessly with Butchu's slimmer brother. Now the strange thing is, when you see Butchu falling, he seems to have a blue head. He's got a blue face when he falls. Yeah, so this is the BBC one. I'm not quite sure. I mean, surely the BBC had enough processor power to feature the Ninja. I don't know why. To my mind, it's just a bit of a lazy port, actually. It's Bruce Lee, but it doesn't really feel too much like Bruce Lee. I think just because everything moves so much quicker, it's not got the same feel to it as all the other versions that we've looked at so far. But I don't know if you can use joystick or not, but I certainly couldn't get it working the joystick. And sound is pretty minimal as well. To be fair, there's not a lot of sound in the game. So yeah, that's the BBC. It's not the greatest one. Right, this is the version that I fell in love with. Well, I mean, that's not entirely true. The Atari 8-bit one was the one that that got me into computers. But as soon as I got a disc drive, I bought this on disc and I played it all the time. It was one of the first games I ever completed. Now this really looks almost identical to the Atari one. Now the one thing that, having played other versions, and I realised even back in the day when I used to play this one, you'll see it when Bruce Lee kind of runs, it kind of glitches a wee bit. It's not super smooth. You'll see it in a second. Oh, Butchu tries to hang on for grim death. Let's see if you see here. I don't know, the way he runs just it's not great. But you know what? This is the version that I played tons back in the day, and that's why it's still one of my favourite games. Colours, I mean, Bruce Lee's more kind of yellowy looking in this one, whereas in the Atari one he looked kind of more normal skin coloured. But again, I think the Atari had a greater colour palette. But this one's, you know, almost pixel perfect to the Atari one. So I do know that that this particular version was actually programmed by the guys that did the Atari one, so you'd expect it to be authentic and faithful to the original one. So yep, that is the Commodore 64 one, and let's crack on with the very last version. That is the Spectrum. Now it looks like the big cow has gone to sleep. Now first impressions of this weren't the greatest. I thought, oh, look at that, it's just all white graphics. But you know what, it actually plays pretty well. But again, you'll see there, for some odd reason, the Spectrum and the BBC, the Butchu and Ninja have the ability to climb up ladders, which completely changes the sort of dynamics of the game. You know, in the C64 one, now it looks a bit like, the Ninja looks like, I don't know, Jet Set Willy without his top hat, brandishing a large stick. Aye, in the Atari and the C64 one, what you wanted to do is, you know, you wanted to try and get the Butchu to fall to the bottom level so that you could then go about collecting the lanterns nice and safe without, you know, the fear of getting attacked. But obviously in this version, in the BBC one, they could climb ladders. But all in all, it's not bad. It feels quite like the original ones. So yeah, to kind of recap, I was really, the one that really surprised me was the Amstrad. I was almost go as far as to say the Amstrad one. The brief shot I had of it, I would prefer that over the C64 one. I don't know, it looks nicer, it plays a bit smoother. I think I'm going to have to go for the Atari 800. It was original. That is probably the best version of that, I think. But the Amstrad, C64, and dare I say the Spectrum as well are all pretty good. The BBC was kind of like a Diet Coke version. It wasn't quite authentic. So anyway guys, if there's any game you want to see featured in this the 8-bit face-off kerfuffle, then please put your comments below. And as usual guys, thank you very much for watching.